Hi, I'm Dr. John Principe from WellBeingMD, and I have a guest instructor here today who's been on a journey with us here at the WellBeingMD Center for Life for really since inception, but she herself brought an amazing program here to WellBeingMD called the MELT method. Now, Salle Huber is a certified instructor in MELT, and I've just been amazed, Sally, as you've been doing this journey, and I, as a clinician and someone that practices functional medicine, have really seen the science catch up with what you and the creator of MELT,
Sue
Hitzman, were out pioneering 2 years ago.
Right.
I mean, it's just amazing. So tell our friends in the audience that are watching this, what amazed you about this?
Well, first of all, Sue Hitzman, who started out as a fitness model, found that despite the fact that she had committed her life to really being as well and as strong as she could be, had debilitating chronic pain, and she was in her 20s. And that led her on a path of trying to figure out what was wrong with her. And as she discovered more about the body, she realized, you know what, I want to know more about why the body responds in that way. One of the things Sue always says is the dirty little secret of fitness is that so many fitness practitioners are in pain themselves. So we're helping other people get out of chronic pain, and we're in pain ourselves, and yet we're eating right, and we're exercising, and really trying to take an approach to life that is wellness focused. The thing about the MELT method is that we're going after a system of the body that had been neglected in the science world and certainly in the fitness world for a really long time, and that's the connective tissue system.
Yeah, and I can remember even as a medical school doing anatomy and dissection, you know, we'd be cutting this fascia away thinking like, oh, well, this just holds a bunch of our muscles together, and that's all it does. Even back then, they didn't know that this was such an important organ in the body that has function. What are those functions?
Well, first of all, our connective tissue system is a partner with our autonomic nervous system. You know the autonomic nervous system, right? It's the fight or flight versus the rest restore mechanisms.
Right. So this is the part of the nervous system that people are not even aware of.
No, because it's what we would call a reflexive part of our body. Everybody knows that the brain tells the muscles what to do, but there's all kinds of movement that goes on in our body that is reflexive. It's happening without our conscious control, right? The way we breathe or digest, etc. When our connective tissue system is functioning properly and well hydrated, it becomes a better communication tool for our autonomic nervous system. So everything is communicating better when the fluid is flowing in the connective tissue system.
So how does the MELT method take advantage of that system to rid people of pain and to make them healthier with simple tools like a ball?
Well, many of us have had the opportunity when we've been in serious pain to have some manual therapy, right? But manual therapy, of course, is very expensive, and oftentimes it requires a prescription. Well, what happens in soft touch manual therapy is the same thing that happens in the MELT method, but we can do it on our own. And that's creating a fluid exchange within the connective tissue system to help restore the fluidity of that system. We're also working with enhancing the functionality of our diaphragm, releasing the psoas, and just in general helping that communication between the autonomic nervous system and the connective tissue system. Remember that the autonomic nervous system has a part of it, what we in MELT speak call the autopilot, that's constantly tracking where your center of gravity is and where your joints are, right? When the connective tissue is functioning more properly, then the autopilot has a better read on where our center of gravity is.
I mean, I think it's revolutionary to be able to teach people and empower them to take care of their
Of
body
themselves.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And we see this so much from the influence of Eastern medicine into Western medicine about paying attention, being in touch and in tune with your body, listening to it. I mean, and I've been to your classes, and I remember distinctly part of the first method is to center yourself and get in touch with how you feel.
That's exactly right.
And
Part of the 4 R's of MELT: reconnect, rebalance, rehydrate, and release.
Yeah.
You know, John, it makes me think of, I took a workshop with a renowned psoas expert, Liz Cook, and she quoted one of her colleagues as saying, if you're not sensing your body, who is? Are you relying on your doctor or your physical therapist or whatever to tell you how your body is? That wisdom is within ourselves.
Right. And so we see, and I see patients every day that are in chronic pain, but one of the most frequent pains that I think I experience, even as a practitioner now, and actually more now because I'm working at the computer all the time, all day long, is, lower back.
Low back pain.
Low back pain. I mean, I can't think of a single person that won't say, yeah, amen, I would like a method to actually make my back feel better.
That's right.
And we actually have a chiropractor here, we have acupuncturists and acupressure, but how can the MELT method integrate all of those modalities to give them a real bang for their buck?
Well, first of all, many of us, I'm a Pilates instructor, but many of us MELT instructors are chiropractors, manual therapists, body workers, and we are true believers in that. But you still need to have a daily maintenance program that helps the work that your chiropractor or your acupuncturist does for you to help it last, to help it take better. It's kind of like when you go to the dentist. Yes, you need to go to the dentist, but sorry, you still need to brush your teeth every day.
Right.
So there's the work that you go to with the professional, and then there's that wonderful self-care that you have.
And I think it's so important for people to recognize that, we recommend all of the body modalities in terms of nutrition, physical movement, and stress reduction to actually become healthier. And if you don't do some of the outside work to affect the inside, those implementation of good food and those things, they don't work as well.
They don't work as well.
Because the body's not ready for it.
Well, for instance, so many people say, I'm thirsty all the time. I really try to drink enough water, which is very, very, very important. But sometimes you just drink it in and you're still thirsty and it goes right through your body. Well, what's that saying? That your connective tissue isn't, it's not juicy enough to absorb the water that you're giving it. So if you thought of your connective tissue like a sponge, right? If you had a totally dried out sponge and you dumped a pitcher of water on it, is that water going to make the sponge spongy again? No, it's not. It's going to roll right over the top. You need to do something to manipulate that tissue in order to let the fluid go all the way through it. And that's the way our tissue is.
That's such an important point. So to summarize, I think Sally brings a great depth of knowledge and experience and actually a passion for this. I think it's an art. It's an art form. It's a medical art form that is scientifically based. And I would certainly recommend that you take advantage of this. Sally is here throughout the year running programs. What's the best way for them to, besides checking our own calendar events, which is at WellBeingMD.com, but you have a website as well that they can visit.
meltmethodchicago.com. I'm also very active on Facebook and on Twitter, and you can find me at Melt Method Chicago on Facebook or at Salle Huber, SalleHuber on Twitter.
So thank you, Sally. I'm hoping that people will take advantage of your talents and your passion.
Excellent. I know they will. Thank you.